Hi, my name is Lina and welcome to this episode about finishing your track. So if you're one of the thousands of musicians who struggle finishing their track, either if it's about the creative workflow or the mixing or the mastering, so then you need to watch this video. Hi, and welcome to Eleanor Does Audio Stuff. This is the last episode of the series How to Become a Music Producer. In this series, we've gone through so many things that are essential for people who are starting to become a music producers. We've gone through, example, creating your own home studio, choosing a DAW, creating your own sample library, recording vocals and mixing them, as well as advanced music production techniques, which was last week. If you're interested of watching those, I'm gonna link the playlist of all these videos down below. So have a look at that. So let's get into this video, and firstly I want to talk about the creative workflow. So yeah, I just want to share my personal secret. What is my workflow and how do I finish tracks? So I would say there's 4 different things that are really important to me. So first one would be my, I call it the Coco Chanel technique. So basically, she always said that before you go outside, just take something away from your outfit. I have now put fashion into music production. So let's say you are creating a synth sound. So straight away in your head, you think, this needs to be perfect. What I want you to try is that create just a pool of sounds. So you just create samples. So you have a little bit of drums, you have MIDI drums and audio drum clips. You have the same with synth, you use your hardware, all these things. So you just create this pool of sounds that are in the same key, in the same rhythm. Because then the next thing is you start listening all of the clips together. So you pick example 3 clips that you play together, and you go around and just see the different variations and the different clips and what fits together. After that, you start just putting them in categories. So these clips go here, then these ones go here, and these ones goes here. So now you might have 3 completely different songs, firstly, in front of you, or you're gonna have verse, intro, and chorus of a same song. After that, you just need to put it in a linear format, just record it to the arrangement view and mix it up, and you already have a beat. Basically, my point is that don't overthink the creation process. So it's good to create a lot and then strip it back and just take the sounds that you like. And that helps you to, example, create many songs in one time because you're not overthinking it. That's the point. So next, I would say that you need to give yourself limits. So sometimes we have too many instruments around us and we just want to play around with everything, and that confuses us. We get tired, we need some coffee, and when you're on a coffee, then your inspiration is gone. So to be able to do that, you need to give yourself limits. Example, should I make a whole song just by using this Arturia microbeat? Or is it a time limitation, creating a beat in 40 minutes? Even if you don't make the hit song in that 40 minutes, it teaches you to work faster and think more from your feet. So you're practicing creating with yourself. With yourself. So you practice, you become more aware of your own creation process and how you work. So the next time, if you do next week the same thing, another beat in 40 minutes, then that might be a better one. You know what I mean? And that takes us to the idea of structure. So I feel like a lot of people struggle with the idea of, what's the word? Oh yeah, procrastinating? Oh, I don't know if I say it correctly. Procrastinating. Yeah, people struggle with the idea of get it done. Giving yourself schedule and structure. And if you're really passionate about something, then you will keep on doing the structure because you see that the structure gives you the feeling of success and it makes you feel better. So that's why giving yourself, example, a challenge. I'm gonna produce a song every single week. And this is important. They don't need to be good. Just take away the idea that everything what you do needs to be good. Just concentrate to press buttons that make funny sounds and creating tunes. Just enjoy making sounds. That's definitely something that I personally I am experiencing with this YouTube channel. I do this every single week. Every single Sunday, I need to have a video out on my YouTube channel. So whatever it is, I just need to make something. And given that structure, I've learned to become a better and faster music producer because sometimes I'm needed to mix a whole song that I publish the next day, and I need to mix it in a day. I'm not 100% happy with everything that I put on this channel, but when I see that people actually subscribe, that people actually like something that I do, I don't need to be so hard on myself. I can't wait to see what happens when I actually have the time. That's something to consider. Also, if you get lack of inspiration, exercise. Exercising, move around, go and have a coffee in the middle of it. Personally, I do yoga, and that really, really helps me to think things through. So if I get stuck and I cannot finish something because of that, then I need to move, like physical activity. I don't know if you feel that way, but personally that really works for me. Okay, so next we're gonna talk about mixing. So how do you know when you're ready with the mix? It's one of the hardest questions. How do you know the compressors are correct? How do you know the EQs are appropriate? How do you know how loud the vocal should be? First tip for that is listen to reference tracks. I think people underestimate the power of reference tracks and just listening to either stuff that you've done previously that you're really happy with, because all this is also about artistry and genre specific things. But I know that's too vague, so let's get more into what you can actually do with it. So reference tracks are definitely good. And time. Give yourself time between the mixes. If you're not sure, if you feel like you've been listening to it way too much, then have a week. I know you have schedules, but have a week between the mixing sessions. That is honestly, it changes so much. The fact that you can just have completely fresh ears, don't listen to it at all during those weeks. And when you are listening to the track, don't go directly to the DAW and just start tweaking it, but listen to it first, make notes, and make yourself a list. Okay, especially on the ending points of the finishing the track, you need to start being really subjective. I think that is the word. I struggled with this one in the last video as well. Instead of getting too emotionally involved with it and started to think, okay, I need to do this and this and this, and then you're too much in your head. What really helps for me is that I listen to it, I start writing notes, okay, a list. I need to still EQ the violins. I need to compress the guitar. I need to add a gate to the drums. Start thinking about in a really subjective way, and then you just work through your list. Then wait maybe a couple more days and do this again. Listen, make a list, fix. Okay? And then, because if you are one of these people, which I have always been and I really struggle with still, who really struggles to just step away from their tweaking and mixing, my tip for that is that I have this list and I make the final list. When every single point of that list is fixed, done, that's the track ready. I've already done 2 different reviews of it. I listen to reference tracks, I give in time, I make lists, and I make the list maybe twice after a couple of days of giving just space to my ears, then it's ready. It needs to be in one point. So creating a list, writing that down, that can help you. Okay, for the vocals, how do I know when the vocals, are they loud enough? Are they clear enough? Are they present enough? As I said, it's really genre specific, and I have a couple techniques for this. First, mix them separately. If you have the vocals all the time on, without muting them, and you mix everything else, you get so bored of those vocals. So my tip is mix everything else first so that is balanced and that sounds amazing. After that, you mix the vocals. Editing or gating if you want, or compression, all this basically to make it as good sounding signal as possible. After that, you put the vocals on the top of the whole production. And first you're gonna put the instrumentalist bit in a good point so that it's not peaking. And after that, you start slowly bringing in the vocal. You bring the level of the vocal too much. And then after that, you start reducing it with hearing the instrumental bit, and then you just leave it slightly on the top of the instrumentalist thing. After that, you listen to reference tracks, like leave at least couple days between listening to it again. Also, if you have someone around you who has no idea about music production, no idea about mixing, or generally music, they are one of the best people to tell you if the vocals are too loud. It's weird, but it actually works. So make them listen to the track first without not telling it. And then after that, you listen again and say, is the vocals too loud? Or is it too quiet? Because usually they are the ones who are like, oh, I can't hear it properly. Like it sounds a bit uncomfortably low. Works in my household. Okay, then let's talk about mastering, the taboo of mastering. I have actually created a whole video about mastering. In that also I demonstrate a really simple, like beginner's level of mastering for a track. So I'm just gonna link it here. And I'm also gonna link it down below. So instead of telling you how to master, because you can go and watch it from there, I wanna talk to you about different ways of proceeding with mastering whole process and get your song finished. So there's a lot of talk about the fact, like, should you master it by yourself or should you go to somebody to get it mastered? So neither one of them is right or wrong, they're just really different. So when you have mixed your song, you're happy with it, then get it completely finished, you need to start asking certain questions. Do you understand what mastering is? Do you have a vision for the mastering? And do you have the equipment to do the mastering? If you said no to any of these, then consider have your track mastered with somebody else. They know their craft, then it's probably you're gonna have a better resolution if you pay for someone to do it. But it is something that a producer can't do by themselves. I would recommend using still a pair of ears that belongs to another head to give you feedback how they think the master sounds. Just to get like a fresh pair of ears. It does work. Now we come to the point where you might have actually finished your song and now you need to know how to get it distributed. I can give you 7% off from your first year subscription with DistroKid. They have unlimited uploads, so I definitely recommend having a look. The link for that is down below and you can get the 7% off from it. Okay, that was it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this and hopefully you enjoyed this whole series that I've done. Please check the playlist down below and next week I will come back with something completely new. So have a really nice day. Please let me know down in the comments what you think and see you next week. Okay, bye.